I'm Kanta Dihal.
What do you do?
I am a postdoctoral researcher at the Centre for the Future of Intelligence in Cambridge, and I lead the project Global AI Narratives.
And what can you recommend us today?
Well, having looked at several hundreds of narratives about artificial intelligence, there are quite a few that I think could be really helpful in making us imagine futures with intelligent machines productively. One novel I particularly enjoyed recently was Autonomous by Annalee Newitz, which is about artificial intelligence being embodied in different ways, and the question of gendering. So is gendering something that is done to machines, or can machines decide and determine and state their own gender identity? So this is, as far as I know, the first and only narrative of a transgender robot I've ever read. The short film Robots of Brixton, which was briefly mentioned in the talks this morning. So Robots of Brixton is a short film recreating a narrative of the Brixton riots in London with robot protagonists that are made to look ethnically black. So they have, although they are made of metal, and although all their parts are nuts and bolts and screws, they are racialized, and the whole film plays with questions of ethnic identity versus machine identity, and how do you determine such identity. And it makes us realize that most of the AIs that we see are racialized as white, as Caucasian, which is usually invisible to most viewers.
Two recommendations are both about identity, right? Is that a big focus in your work?
Yes, I find it a very fascinating subject that AI is well placed to explore, the questions of human identity, the idea that artificial intelligence can somehow disrupt or change what it means to be human. So that is a phrase that keeps coming up in discussions of AI again and again. And or even that it makes us question ourselves, what does it mean for us to be human? What makes us human as opposed to any other animal, as opposed to the non-human machine intelligence?
It's interesting that you said disrupt first.
Yeah.
Because people usually say augment, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Well, there are good stories about human augmentation. I mean, Adam Roberts' novel Stone is a really interesting exploration of people who are enhanced by having nano technology permanently embedded inside them. And Nalo Hopkinson's Midnight Robber is also one of my favorites. It's a novel in which everyone at birth is given this implant that grows with them, through which they are networked into an AI system, so that the AI is always present, always with you, always accessible to ask questions of. Mm-hmm. So it's an advisory organ, almost literally, / a monitoring device all at once.
That is interesting.
Mm-hmm. And I love that it has a Caribbean setting, and that the network itself is called Anansi, which is a trickster figure. And therefore that name suggests already the ambiguity of having Anansi the trickster constantly around you.
Mm-hmm. It's like even if you reinvent authority figures for yourself, how do you know that you can trust them kind of dynamic?
Exactly. But at the same time, in Midnight Robber, being banished to a world where there isn't that kind of technology, being banished to a parallel dimension where you lose the connection with that network, is the ultimate punishment.
That's super theological.
It is, yes. And there is a lot of theology in AI narratives. The question of, are we usurping divine powers? Are we meddling in what we shouldn't be meddling in, or are we creating our own gods?
Yeah, to the whole technological redemption thing, right?
Oh yes, or the and the idea that which Francis Bacon already considered, that by means of technology we could actually go back to this state that we were in the Garden of Eden, a sort of pristine utopian state of leisure. So that was before the fall, and before God told humans, you have to now toil, and in the sweat of thy brow, the rest of your life will be a struggle for nutrition, for keeping yourself alive.
And then you have fully automated gay luxury space communism.
Yes. Which I really like. I really like how the term fully automated luxury communism somehow evolved into fully automated luxury gay space communism, and it's such an everybody has these automatic associations with some kind of TV series or film that very clearly shows this future. I mean, there was the Jetsons 50 years ago already. Also, Isaac Asimov's stories have a really strong element of that. I think the term itself came from Star Trek. But one writer who takes it quite literally, especially the gay and the communism, is Cory Doctorow in his latest novel, Walkaway. Yeah, he explores a technologically enhanced future in which, because of the omnipresent availability of technology, because of everything being open source, everything being shareable and 3D printable, it means that people can walk away from society and create their own communist utopias in which there doesn't have to be any income or inequality, in which capitalism is done away with, and in which, in the end, some people choose to completely embrace the machine world, the machine identity, and upload themselves, and others think, that's terrifying and creepy, but these machines can give me a good life here on Earth, so I'll go for that.
This is all stuff that relates to your work, right?
Yeah.
Is there anything that you think about to help you think about the future as like a person as well as an academic?
I think, so one of the films that really helped me think about this, which I saw long before I started this research, is WALL-E. I think the message behind WALL-E is really powerful in several ways. On the one hand, of course, the ecological message, the message that we are ruining our planet, that we are making it unlivable, and at the same time the idea that technology might provide a solution. I mean, there is little WALL-E doing his best, but that technology might also turn humans into lazy blobs that sit in a chair all day drinking milkshakes and watching TV. And that it is very much both, and it doesn't have to be mutually exclusive. It can be something that sneaks up on you, that you don't that is not inevitable, that you don't have to embrace but have to be constantly aware of. And I think Wall-E makes a very good case for being wary of technology, but not dismissing it outright and not putting your life in its hands outright.
So a message of caution.
Yes, definitely. But a hopeful message of caution. It's not all doom and gloom. I mean, Wall-E does show a way out. Tiny little plant.